So, welcome to our BCN3D Sigmax printer, which we have called Scrooge because it was the most expensive printer that we had at first. This is about 4,500 euros and it is of very solid make. It is full metal and it has two print heads, one here on this side and one here on this side. Now, on all the other machines that we have, the extrusion head has a diameter of 0.4 millimeters. This one on the left also has 0.4 millimeters, but the print head on the right is 0.6 millimeters. And that makes it 1.5 times faster to print than the 0.4 millimeters. Scrooge is connected, is not connected actually to this machine that we have here. But the Cura software that we use to slice for Scrooge is actually installed in this machine here. And we use a micro SD card to pass the file that we want to print to the printer. So you insert it in here like so. Do your slicing here using the Cura. BCN3D Cura, and save the file onto your drive in here. Take it out from there, insert it in here. It only goes in nicely one way, so make sure that you insert it with the label up. And when you go through this user interface here, you will see how your file is listed, and then all you need to do is to click on the file of you're making and then accept your choice, and then you have the machine working for you. A couple of other words on the Scrooge. First of all, the print table, the heated glass print table, is held in place with 4 magnets, 2 in here and 2 in the back. So it's very easy to accidentally move the printing plate, the bed. And if you do that, you have to calibrate your printer again. So when you remove your part from the printer, make sure that you don't accidentally shake the bed loose, because that means an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes of work to calibrate it. The power switch is here on the left hand side. Turn it on. The disco lights go on. And it loads the user interface down here. I will now move the camera so that you can actually see what I'm going to do next. So it's a bit hard to see, but here on the main menu you have 3 options. There's print, there's utilities, and there's temperatures. I'm going to calibrate this machine, so for that I need to turn on the temperatures. I can turn on both extruders like so. And now it is starting to heat both of the extruders into 215 degrees Celsius. I can go back using the hamburger menu on the top and go to utilities. If I wanted to unload or load filament or purge filament, that would mean extruding some filament just to see that I have extrusion. I could do that here by clicking on purge and then selecting the extruder that I want to use. And then using this control here, I could purge. But currently I want to calibrate. I do not want to load or unload filament. I want to calibrate, so I go to calibration. You generally want to use the first one, printing surface calibration, because that enables you to make sure that your print table is level. So you go here and you click on printing surface calibration. And this will tell you what's going to happen next. It will give you instructions in here. This is a wizard. All you have to do is to click on next. And what happens now is that the print heads are moving. And it has micro switches here on the print heads that it is using to figure out how high the table is. This will happen a couple of times. And then it will go back to the user interface, and it will say that it is a success, for currently my printer is already calibrated. If it wasn't, it would tell you how to use these two screws. There's one screw in here and another screw in here. You would be told how to turn each of these two screws to get the print table absolutely level. But since it's already saying success here on the menu, I don't need to do anything to it. And while I'm doing this, I might show you how to do the printer calibration as well. And it's going to tell me that the print heads are going to move, so I need to keep my hands off it. And I want to do a Z-axis on the left extruder, which is here in the wizard. I will say calibrate, and it will do essentially the same thing as it did before. It's currently heating the print head. And we are getting there. 96% of the temperature is correct. When it hits 100, this print head is going to move to the center and print a 5 line print from which you can then select what is the best one. Now it's asking you to clean the print head. Take a piece of paper and clean the print head. Then click on next. It will ask you to apply glue. I already have applied the glue, so I can click on next. The print head comes up to the proper level. And now I need to calibrate. Again, I will put a piece of paper under the table, and using the up arrow on the user interface, I will move it until I have a definite scratch between the paper and the print table. So I will click on accept, and now the printer will make the test print. Again, adjusting the temperature because it has slightly gone down while we were fooling around. I will pause the recording. And we have the printer in proper operation. It will now do the print test. The machine will print five lines here, and after that it will ask me which of the 5 lines looks best to me. Now it has 3 of them. That is number 4, and we get the last one. And when I look at these, I think that the one in the middle looks the best. So I just go to the user interface again and click on number 3 and accept. And now I have Z-axis on the left print head done. I could now do the right one by going calibrate, because it's suggesting to do Z-axis on the right extruder, but I happen to know that it's already calibrated, so I will skip this. And if it happens that this device here tells you to install something called shims, you can simply ignore this and say skip when it wants you to install shims. We do not install anything on this machine. Then it will ask you whether you want to calibrate the x-axis. That is mostly not necessary, and the same for the y-axis as well, so I will skip this and skip the y-axis calibration. And now it will say success, and currently the machine is well calibrated. So all I need to do now is to go to my Cura over here, place something on the print area. I will just quickly show you something. Open files, webcam stand. Okay, this would be the part. The important things is that you have to select the piece and then select the extruder. First select it here on the left hand side, 1 or 2. That is 1, that is 2. And then go do the same thing here on the right. Click on extruder 1 if you say 1 in here. And now I have the same extruder for the left hand side on the right hand side. And if I was going to do a print that needs supports, I would have to go here and turn on support, generate support, and then pick the same extruder for the supports. Otherwise, your machine is going to switch the extruder every time it goes between the object and the support, and that is just going to add 30-40% of time to your print. When your print is done, all you need to do is to make sure that your settings are right in here, and then click on prepare. I will take the memory card, put it in here. That was the sound. And then when I click on prepare, it will tell me that it will take 2 hours 38 minutes. And when I click on save to removable drive, it is then saved on the Sigmax drive. Click on eject so that I can safely remove this one. Go down here, insert it in the slot. Go to the print menu. Usually your object is going to be the last in the list. So if you click up, you will see it here. It's the last on the list. Click on that one and then accept. And what happens now is that the printer is going to start running your piece through the machine, and it will print right here in the middle. However, I don't need this piece, and it's not worth my time or spending the filament on this. That's what would happen now. It would start to print. So I will go back here and say stop, and it will ask me to accept, and I will accept it, and now the machine is back in the offline condition. So this is how you print stuff using the Sigmax Scrooge printer.